EdwardJRenehanJr., Commodore, The Life of Cornelius Vanderbilt. Step into the world of Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt, a man whose ambitions and relentless pursuit of wealth led to a life of extraordinary accomplishments in the world of shipping and railroads. Born in a humble family and driven by a hunger for profit, Vanderbilt became a skillful seaman and eventually built a powerhouse in the transportation industry by providing fast, reliable, and economical services. This summary of A Commodore, The Life of Cornelius Vanderbilt by EdwardJRenehanJr. will shed light on Vanderbilt's relentless battles against competitors and monopolies, his expansion into the railroad sector, and his remarkable personal life marked by horse racing, spiritualism, and a tumultuous family dynamic.
The rise of Commodore Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's early life, endeavors, and family are detailed, highlighting his ambition, determination, and success in the shipping industry. The future Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt was born into a family of limited means, with his illiterate father working as a skilled seaman. However, Vanderbilt's curiosity and drive were evident at an early age, as he showed a talent for horseback riding and sailing. After leaving school at age 11 due to his brother's death, Vanderbilt began a life of hard work and labor, studying the ports, tides, and ships, and developing a reputation for seamanship, speed, and price-cutting. Despite the dangers of stormy weather, Vanderbilt hungered for profit, taking risks that others avoided. He bought his own small boat at 16, and eventually purchased a 65-foot sloop that carried more cargo and passengers. Vanderbilt's success in shipping allowed him to marry Sophia Johnson, whom he had known since childhood. Sophia was a hardworking, beautiful, and deferential wife, who bore Vanderbilt 13 children, only 3 of whom were boys. Throughout his life, Vanderbilt equated his drive for success with a mania for money-making. His early struggles and dedication to his craft paved the way for his eventual rise to prominence as a leading figure in the American shipping industry. Even in old age, Vanderbilt fondly remembered the days of operating his first boat, which set him on the path to becoming the formidable Commodore. Vanderbilt's rise to steamboat monopoly. In an era of self-interest and competitiveness, Cornelius Vanderbilt, known for his reliability in providing fast transport, made his fortune by competing with the powerful Livingston-Fulton cartel in the steamboat industry. Refusing to adhere to restrictions, he found success by partnering with Thomas Gibbons. They battled a monopoly in New York and eventually won, opening up competition among steamboat operators. Vanderbilt's hunger for money led him to cut fares to zero, crushing his competitors. His thirst for ownership taught him the importance of being the boss, not an employee. Vanderbilt's rise to power. Cornelius Vanderbilt, driven by his thirst for wealth and power, used both conventional and unconventional methods to establish a shipping business that dominated the industry during the 19th century. He refused to settle for a comfortable life and put his family in a cramped tenement instead of a townhouse, allowing him to buy ships from William Gibbons' fire sale and establish his dispatch line. Vanderbilt used all tactics available, including fixing prices, waging price wars, and being paid to stay out of certain markets to eliminate competitors while continuously expanding his fleet. He was hailed as an anti-monopolist by the Evening Post, and was eventually invited to join the Long Island Railroad after strategically investing in railroads. Although he failed to dominate horse racing as he did the waterways, Vanderbilt's crude manners and refusal to perform charitable works kept him out of polite society. By relentlessly pursuing opportunities and taking risks, Vanderbilt had a personal worth of $1.2 million and an annual income of more than $30,000 by age 44. Vanderbilt's quest for wealth. Cornelius Vanderbilt, also known as the Commodore, sought new routes to America's west coast to shorten travel, transport gold rush proceeds, and speed up mail delivery. His efforts led him to explore creating a route through Nicaragua and cutting an 11-mile canal between Lake Nicaragua and the Pacific. Despite initial hurdles, Vanderbilt succeeded in piloting his steamboat up the San Juan River, establishing the accessory transit to transport people and goods to and from both sides of Nicaragua. He took advantage of political instability to profit from battles over the Isthmus trade, becoming one of the wealthiest men in America. Finding ocean-going steamships dependent on mail subsidies, Vanderbilt offered to transport mail for half price but had to resort to building his business without subsidies due to competitors' political connections. Vanderbilt's involvement with railroads began as a means of bringing passengers to his boats, but he went on to speculate in train lines and bought railway shares or acquired failing railway enterprises. Vanderbilt's son Billy grew the family's ownership, leading to the creation of the Vanderbilt Railroad Empire and the nation's first integrated rail system. Though not without defeat, Vanderbilt's quest for wealth changed American travel and transportation forever. The Life and Legacy of Cornelius Vanderbilt. The book summarizes the life and legacy of Cornelius Vanderbilt, who had a vast fortune of almost $200 million at the time of William's death. Cornelius was a distant and quarrelsome man who had a fondness for spiritualism and other women. After his wife Sophia died in 1868, he got involved with Tennessee Claflin, who was a healer that used magnets, and her sister Victoria Woodhull, who led seances. His family tried to keep them away, and when Cornelius became ill and aged, they succeeded. He financed several of their projects, including the first U.S. publication of Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto. In 1869, William arranged for his father to marry his distant cousin, Frank Crawford, and also settled a $500,000 deal with her to keep the family's fortune intact. After Cornelius died of syphilis, which he contracted in his dalliances around the docks decades earlier, William increased his father's fortune to $100 million and left 95% of it to him. William also built a half-finished mausoleum on Staten Island, which he liked, and was eventually buried there along with Cornelius and their loved ones. The book details the story of Cornelius' colossal monument, made of cast bronze, which illustrated his career but was forgotten immediately after it was unveiled.
Cornelius Vanderbilt's life was a testament to his insatiable ambition and a keen sense of opportunity, making him undeniably one of America's greatest business titans in history. A man of fierce determination and intelligence, he managed to amass a colossal fortune and transform the landscape of the transportation industry, both through shipping and railroads. While his personal life was colored by extravagant ventures and complex relationships, Vanderbilt's legacy lives on in the form of his vast empire, which was expanded by his successors, and in the foundations he laid for the modern capitalist society we live in today. This book summary gives you a fascinating overview of a man driven by an unyielding desire for wealth and success, the complexities of his incredible journey, and the pivotal moments that shaped the course of his life and American history.